I'm going to do shape primitives, but I did want to show you one more option for drawing this using the pen tool. In the previous iteration, I did it with all curve points that I then went back and split after the fact. You can do it with angular points as well. I pretty much never work this way personally, but I've been using Illustrator a long time, and for some people that are newer to it, they find what I'm about to do a little easier. What you should under no circumstances do is one of these. This is not cool, where you end up putting a point every half a millimeter. That creates a very rough shape. It's not remotely appropriate for building this. So that's a no. But what would be acceptable as a beginning technique that you then modify, and I'm going to go back down to a smaller point size for this now. Let's go with, okay, would be to go with angular points, fine, but consider your directional change areas, because you're going to end up modifying these into curve points, and you don't want any more of them than you have to have. So everywhere there's a significant directional change is the only place you need to put points. And it's going to look dreadful until you do the conversions later on. And I do find if you go with this method that you will probably end up with a few more points than you need, but it's not terrible so long as you go back and make the alterations that you need to. So for the moment, mine looks like this, which is really rough. Now that I've done this, you're going to come back. You're going to go to that anchor point tool. You're going to go to the individual sections that you drew, and you're going to click and drag to turn those into those curve points. For people that are struggling with the use of the tool, a lot of times they can't visualize how the next line segment's going to do. The advantage of this technique is the line segments are already there, you're altering them. And by this method, it is easier in many people's opinion to visualize how the path's working. Just keep in mind that you want to get the shape looking pretty good, but with the convert anchor point tool, it is not going to be perfect. You're going to come back later with the white arrow to fine tune, in particular, those pointy bits that otherwise are going to be really difficult to deal with. So this just gives you an idea of how you sort of go with that, from that really angular version to a version that is much less angular, obviously, and is a better fit for the shape. So that was the convert anchor point tool for all of those modifications. I did the split points with it as well, and now I'm just sort of really quickly reshaping them. All right, so if that helps, give it a try. If it doesn't, you can do the shape primitive one that I really am going to do next.